So we will be beginning class resting on our back. So if you do have a block close by, come to lie down on your back and place the block on your lower abdomen. Let the eyes close down for a moment. If your back doesn't quite feel comfortable with the legs extended, you can bend the knees and place the feet on the mat. Maybe even let the knees fall in towards each other. Just as we rest here for a moment to tune in with our body, it may be even helpful for us to think of this practice today almost as though it's a set of traffic lights. So we have red, which is when we stop, we reflect, and then we have the middle color, which is orange, or we prepare. We're either preparing to stop or we're preparing to move forward. And then we have the green light, which is go. And the practice itself is going to be sequenced in a similar fashion, where it's a calm and stable practice this morning. So think of it as starting at the red light. We'll move through a couple of yin postures where it's time to really just pause, to be still, so that when we get into the orange zone or the middle zone, the middle part of the practice, you're able to move forward with steadiness and calmness, and to prepare yourself for moving into your pranayama and meditation at the end, which will ultimately prepare you for moving into your day. There'll be a focus on a 1-to-2 ratio of breath. So for example, if we're breathing in 3 counts, you'd be breathing out 6 counts, which just helps to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So our calmer nervous system. This doesn't mean it has to put us to sleep. It can just mean that it's calming our minds and our bodies so that we move forward without being reactive. We can actually be responsive and responsible in our choices. So if you have your block on your belly, just allow it to move to the side. I'm just going to add in so we're still lying on your back when we began practice, just tuning in with the body. And now as we move into our yin postures, just bring the knees to bend. And now bring your right ankle to the top of your left thigh, so just underneath where the knee is. And if you get plenty of sensation in the right hip here, I just want you to stay. Remember, the first part of the practice or the first couple of poses are yin poses. So it's trying to be as passive and as still as you can, focusing on 1-to-2 breath ratio. So if you're breathing in 3, it's out 6. There should never be any stress with your breath work. So make it as comfortable for yourself as you can. If you want to move deeper into this pose, either grabbing between the legs in that triangle shape and holding onto the back of the left thigh, or maybe even onto the left shin. So here, wherever your grip is, if you're choosing to move a little deeper, make sure your shoulders are relaxed down onto the mat and that your head and neck are also relaxed. And a great technique to keep the right knee joint safe is to actually have the right foot flexed. There should never really be a sensation into our knee joints. Just take a few more moments here to really sink into your hips and your pelvis, as these will prepare your body for our seated positions later. With each exhale, trying to relax your hips a little more and also to release your shoulders a little closer to the mat. Reducing any tension in the face and trying to cultivate your 1 to 2 breath ratio. So whatever you're breathing in, you're trying to breathe out double the amount of that. Even if it's in for 2 and out for 4. You may notice your capacity change by the time we get to the end of the practice anyway. So don't be too harsh on yourself and don't try and force the breath. And now, keeping the legs in that figure 4 kind of position, just allow the left heel and foot to come down to the mat, keeping the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And now, let the left knee and left outer thigh drop towards the mat, and the right foot comes down to the mat. So we come into this gentle twist. If you need a block underneath your right foot, you can do that. But again, here's a yin position. So just try and let your upper body feel relaxed while allowing for the twist in your abdomen and getting a beautiful connective tissue stress on the outside of your right thigh. Eyes are closed down if that's comfortable for you. And tuning into your 1 to 2 breath ratio. So remembering that these yin postures aren't a huge portion of our practice today. Before we move into the middle section, we start to get a little bit more mobile into the hips. Just imagining it again as a set of traffic lights where we're currently at the red, where we're stopping, pausing and reflecting. And then we'll get to the orange or the middle part of the practice. We'll start to make some decisions about how we want to move forward or if we need to stop again. Your next breath, allow the legs and the knees to come back to center and just pause with both of your feet on the mat. Perhaps bring them as wide as your mat and just let the knees fall in towards each other, palms resting by your side, just to take a moment of rest here. Particularly if you found those poses challenging, it's really important to take that pause and rest in between the longer held postures. just to allow our connective tissue, so the deeper tissue, it's a bit deeper than muscle, to start to hydrate. Let's come to our other side. So now left heel comes to the top of the right thigh, just underneath where the right knee joint is. If you feel plenty of sensation here, please stay. Otherwise, you can move deeper, either looping the hands through that triangular shape in between the legs, holding on to the back of the right thigh. Perhaps even you're holding on to your right shin, just depending on how open your hips are feeling this morning. So no need to rush, knowing that you can revisit this posture at any time. You can revisit this class. And to know that your practice isn't a competition. When it feels that way, just be mindful that it can be when our ego starts to take over a little bit. We're feeling like we need to achieve a certain aesthetic of a pose, so the way it looks, or even reflecting that we may have been able to do it this way last week, so why shouldn't we be able to do it this week? But so many things can happen in a day, let alone a week. So just be gentle with yourself. Feel with each exhale, the body softening a little more. Trying to have your exhale just that little bit longer than your inhale. And if your mind gets carried away, it starts to lose focus of the attention of the breath, just remember to try and breathe in and then to try and breathe out for double the length of your inhale. And notice how that shapes your mind. Allow your right foot now to come down to the mat. Keeping the leg configuration, just let the right thigh drop towards the right and the left foot comes down. Maybe this side is a little bit more challenged and needs the block underneath the left foot. If that's the case, take your time to set yourself up. If you feel more freedom on this side, see how deep you can go with allowing the foot to come all the way down to the floor. You can choose here where you have your hands. Sometimes it can even feel nice to place the hand or the fist into just the lower part of the inner left thigh to gently move it back so it provides more of an intensity into the pose. One to two ratio of breath. Now allow your knees, legs to come back to center. And now just draw both of your knees in towards you holding each shin with one of your hands. So the left shin in the left hand, and the right hand is holding the right shin. So just underneath the knee. As you inhale, let the knees move away from you, keeping a hold of the shins. And as you exhale, just draw the right knee in towards you and turn your chin, your left cheek towards the left side of the mat. As you inhale, look back to center, let the right knee move away. As you exhale, left knee in and chin turns to the right, drawing the left shoulder down to the mat, getting a beautiful left neck stretch. Inhale, come back to center. The left knee moves away from you. As you exhale, right knee draws in and the chin turns to the left and the right shoulder tries to move closer towards the mat. Inhale, right knee moves away. And exhale, left knee in and chin turns to the right. Left shoulder down. Let's do this one more time each side. Inhale, left knee moves away. Exhale, right knee in, chin, left cheek goes to the left of the mat. Inhale, right knee moves back, and exhale, left knee in, and chin turns to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Keep the knees drawn in towards you, and now bring the arms out to a T position. Palms face up or palms face down, depending on what suits you here. So remember now we're moving into that middle part of the practice where we can almost think of it as directly related to the middle part of our body as well. So we'll be working a little bit into the core, and just know that if there's a little bit of heat building up, that you're kind of tuning into that transformative power in your energy system, in your physical body as well. So take an inhale here. And as you exhale, the knees fall to the left and maybe your gaze turns to the right. As you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, the knees go to the right. Maybe your gaze turns to the left. Inhale, center. Same deal. Knees go left, gaze goes right. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees right, gaze left. If you feel a little bit stronger and feel like the challenge, straighten the legs. Inhale, legs come back to center, and exhale, the legs go as far over to the left as they can without losing the connection with right shoulder blade to mat. Inhale, come back to center, legs go right on exhale. There's no pressure to go deeper, just go to your level today. Inhale, come back to center, one more time. Legs left, twisting in the navel. Inhale, center, legs right. Feel the ringing effect in the navel and the abdomen. Come back to center. Keep the legs extended up towards the ceiling, and with like a little diamond shape in your hands, bring that underneath your seat. So keeping that little diamond connection with your thumb and your index fingers, it should provide a nice little height to your hips here. As we prepare for the legs descending down towards the mat, but not all the way. So listen carefully. On your next exhale, start to lower the legs about 2/3 of the way down. And pause here. If you already feel shaking in your abdomen, try and push your lower back down into the mat. And if at any point we get too low and it's too much for your back, please just come out or take a pause. Next stage, we move to about 1/3 of the way down. Push your lower back down into the mat Engage your core and try and stay relaxed in your shoulders, your neck, and your face. Engaging into the core. Next stage, lower heels so they're just a few inches off the mat. Push the lower back down into the mat, engaging your core. Trying to stay relaxed in the upper body and engaged in the lower body and the middle of the body. We do that in reverse. Now come up 1/3 of the way. It should feel easier than being that little bit lower. Still challenged, still maybe a little bit shaky. Now 2/3 of the way up. All the way up. If you're okay here, take the hands out from underneath your seat and bring the arms out to a T position again. If you feel like it's too much having the legs up, you can hug the knees in briefly for a second and just do this twisting sequence with the knees bent. So just choose where you're at right now. And again, on the exhale, the legs go to the left, twisting the navel. Inhale, legs come to center. Exhale, the legs go to the right. Straight legs or knees bent, wherever you're at. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, legs go left. Inhale, center. Exhale, legs go right. Inhale, center. One more time. Legs go left. Inhale, center. And the legs go right. Inhale, legs come to center. And the feet just come back down to the mat. Rest the hands next to the side. Feet hip distance apart. If your breath got a little bit out of synchronicity with how it was feeling before in the yin postures, just allow it to come back to your natural rhythm. Just for a moment. Relaxing the tension that may have been created in your face or in your neck and shoulders. It's a little bit of a counter pose here. Move into just a dynamic bridge pose with some neck freedom as well. So as you inhale, lift the hips up and just lift the right arm up and over the head. As you exhale, the hips come down, the hand comes down, and your chin again turns to the left-hand side. So you get this beautiful right neck stretch. Inhale this time, left arm comes up. And as you exhale, the left arm comes down, the hips come down, and the gaze turns to your right. Do this 3 more times. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, gaze goes to the left. You can move a little bit faster if you like. Inhale, left arm comes up. And exhale, left hand and hips come down as the gaze goes to your right. 2 more times. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, hand down, hips down, chin to the left. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, come down, chin goes to the right. Inhale, right arm, last round. Exhale, right arm down, chin goes to the left. It should feel really nice into your back. Inhale, left arm comes up. And exhale, left arm comes down, chin moves to the right. Let your head come back to center. Just notice how your whole body's feeling here. Much like we began practice, we took a moment to reflect on how we're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. Now, please come to roll over onto your belly as we prepare for Shalabhasana. So bring your hands to your sacrum, palms face up. The feet can be whatever feels comfortable for you. Maybe the legs are together, or maybe the legs are set wider apart. As you inhale, lift the chest and the chin, reach the right arm forward. Exhale, right arm sweeps back and the right cheek comes down to the mat. Inhale, left arm comes forward. Exhale, left arm sweeps back, the left cheek comes down to the mat. Again, working into that beautiful neck freedom. Inhale, right arm up, left leg lifts now. Exhale, right arm sweeps back, the left leg comes down, the right cheek comes to the mat. Other side, inhale, left arm, right leg, as high as you can, strengthening into the back. Exhale, arm and leg comes down, the left cheek comes to the mat. This time, inhale, both arms, both legs. Stay for just 3 breaths. You may be squeezing your legs here to reach that little bit higher, or they may just be still set a little bit apart, and that's okay. One more breath. Reach up on your inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Plant your hands next to your chest. Forehead down on the mat. Take another breath here. And on your next exhale, push up to all fours. So in all fours, just allow your hands to be just forward of your shoulders. And this should put you in a pretty good position for where we'll move into next. So as you inhale, just allow your gaze to look forward. No huge neck extension here. And as you exhale, chin in as the hips move back. This is our chakra Vakrasana pose. Navel in, chin in. As you inhale, come all the way back up to all fours. There's no huge dip in your back as you come up, just a neutral gaze in front of you. And as you exhale, chin in and the hips move back, the spine gently rounding and the elbows bending as the forehead comes down to the mat and the hips touch back towards the heels. 2 more times. Inhale, come up. And exhale, move back. One more time. Inhale up. Great time to start implementing that 1 to 2 breath ratio. Exhale, moving back. Very easy to lose focus with our breath when it becomes intense. This time now, as we come up to all fours on inhale, double your exhale to move back into downward facing dog, tucking the toes and lifting the hips high. Let's move through that little vinyasa sequence again. So the knees come down on inhale. And you double your exhale to move back into downward facing dog. Nice and slow, controlled movement. Again, knees come down. And exhale, hips go high. This time, step your right foot between your hands. Just stay in a high lunge for a moment. So the fingertips can come either side of the right foot. They may be on blocks. Push back through the left heel and feel the opening in the inner left thigh when you do that. Getting into our lovely hip openers, just inside the thighs, on the outside of the thighs, and in the hip region. Push back to downward facing dog. Again, with the right foot, step now to the outside of your right hand. You may want to come up on your fingertips or be on your block. So choose here what feels right. Left heel pushing back. If these aren't overly accessible for you, you're also welcome to come down on your back left knee. Step back into downward facing dog. This time now, right knee comes forward into pigeon. If your right hip doesn't come down, choose to place a block or a cushion underneath there and keep your back left knee off the mat just for a moment. So the left toes are curled into the mat. It's really engaging into the left leg and it's keeping the hips squared here. Just for another couple of breaths, keep the knee off the mat. And then you can choose to relax the left knee down. Still stay engaged in the back left leg. Maybe your forearms come down to the mat. So thinking of this as the middle traffic light, the orange, maybe it's just that flashing orange light, where you're deciding how you move forward in your practice and in your day. Is it by rushing or is it by taking precise and clear movement with purpose and with grace? Start to walk your hands back in. If you had a prop underneath the right hip, you can take it out to the side and push back into your downward facing dog. Left foot now steps between your hands, choosing the options with where your hands are placed, either on blocks or on fingertips, all the while pushing back through your right heel. Remembering your breath is a 1-to-2 ratio. So trying to slow the breath down on exhale particularly, which is going to help slow the mind down. Slow all of those impulses of the reactive mind so that we can see and speak a little bit more clearly. Step back, downward facing dog. Hips high, pushing hands into the mat. And left foot now steps outside of the left hand. I'm coming onto my fists here, just to rest my hands. Can feel a little bit more stable for the wrists if yours are also challenging you. Pushing back through the right heel. Hands come down to the mat, step back, to your downward facing dog. Left knee now comes forward for your pigeon on this side. Remembering that the right knee stays up to begin with, pushing back through your right heel. And if you need the support underneath your left hip, please make sure that you're supporting yourself in these ways. Keep the right knee up, just another breath or two. And then as you relax the knee down, you can start to walk yourself forward. Maybe onto forearms, maybe your whole body is resting over the front leg. Please try and stay engaged in the right leg. One to two breath ratio, helping to calm the system. Hands start to walk in and push back to your downward facing dog. Let the knees come all the way down to the mat and come to sit on your heels. Just for a moment, take pause. Maybe the eyes are open. Maybe they're closed down. And then allow your hips to move to the left of your heels. And now bring your right foot over the top of the left knee. So we set up for a twist here. So the right knee's pointing up and the left heel is near your right hip. Both your sit bones should be planted on the floor, the mat here. And now bring your right hand behind you and your left hand to hug the right knee. So the elbow crease wraps around the knee. And if you're finding that you're not getting much of a twist here, you can bring the left arm to the outside of the right thigh. And then allow your body to start to twist towards the right side. So trying to almost turn as if you were really robotic. So it's though your head, your whole torso is moving at the same pace. The head's not kind of turning around like an owl, but it's staying with the body and you're twisting from the core. So think of yourself here as lifting up out of the pit of the belly and finding more rotation on your exhale. Shoulders open, collarbones wide. Now keep your body in this position, but just turn your head to look over the front shoulder. And here, close the eyes down. And feel a sense of stillness and steadiness. Slowly release arms, legs as we transition to the next side. So now the right knee bends and the left heel comes over the top, making sure both sit bones are on the ground. If you need a little cushion or something underneath your hips, that's perfectly acceptable. So remember now, left hand comes behind you and choose your options for your arms. So either the elbow hooks at the front of the left knee or the right arm comes to the outside of the left leg. And now you twist from the abdomen. thinking about your spine as moving up on inhale and creating more twist on exhale. Keeping the whole body moving together, twisting from the core. And then allowing just the head now to turn and look over the front shoulder, allowing the eyes to close down here and to connect to that place of stillness. Slowly release arms and legs and come into an easy cross-legged position. So where the feet rest just underneath the knees, the ankles are wide. And again, if this is quite challenging for you, place a cushion or a block underneath your hips. This just helps to elevate the hips and the pelvis to allow the knees to roll forward. So now bring your hands in front of you. Start to just walk yourself about halfway forward, keeping your spine nice and long, feeling a beautiful sensation into the hips. Maybe even noticing whether your hips feel that little bit more receptive and open to this sitting position. If you're feeling more open this morning, continue walking your arms forward, keeping the length in the spine. Perhaps forearms come down to the mat. Maybe your forehead starts to relax all the way down. And if you're there, the arms can come to the lower back, just holding on to your left or right wrist, feeling your forehead rest all the way down to the mat. Beautiful freedom that's being created in the whole of the spine and in the hips. So particularly in the cervical spine, which is the neck region, just feeling that openness. And then feel the openness in the hips just by being in this seated position. Release your hands or start to walk the hands back in wherever you are. Let's come to lie down for our Shavasana pose. So set yourself up here to be as comfortable as you can. And take a couple of adjusting breaths when you get down onto your back. Conscious breaths all the way into the belly. And then expelling the air all the way out, emptying the lungs. And please now just let the breath adjust. No need to control. And without any control of the breath, start to feel as though the breath is effortlessly entering in for a count of 3 or 4. As you exhale, it's moving out for about 6 or 8 counts. Remember, no strain, effortless breath in and effortless breath out. It's this reminder to our nervous system to rest and restore, to be calm and stable. And now as the breath flows effortlessly in for a ratio of 1 and out for a ratio of 2, whatever your breath capacity is, start to contemplate all of the cumulative light in the universe. Whether that's the stars, the sun, all the galaxies and the planets. With each in-breath, feel as though you're drawing that in towards your body. It's coming in through the top of the head. It's descending all the way into the abdominal center, collecting light into that space. And on your exhale, the breath is dispersing all of the light to all of the cells of the body, lighting your whole abdomen up and all of the cells surrounding your body. Inhale, you're drawing light in. And exhale, it's as though a flame ignites in the abdomen, lighting up the whole body. Just continue here for a few more moments. Effortless breath. And now, effortless technique. Just feel the light residing in the body without trying to focus on drawing any light in or out. Just let yourself bask in the cumulative light of the universe, which is also within you. Please now remember the sensations of your body resting on the mat. And start to softly come back to the awareness of your breath. Deepening the inhale and exhale to feel as though you're waking up each cell of your body. Bringing some small movements to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And then please roll over to your right side. And coming up to your seat for pranayama and meditation. When you find your comfortable sitting position, notice whether you can be completely effortless. So feeling the spinal column nice and tall, the hips in the seat completely relaxed. If it doesn't feel quite right sitting all the way down on the floor or on your block or cushion, take this chance now to find a comfortable sitting chair where you can have both feet on the mat or the floor and your lower back connecting to the back of the chair, making sure that the head and neck are still supporting themselves. And we'll begin with our alternate nostril breathing. So bending index finger and middle finger in towards your palm, placing the thumb just where the bone ends on the nose, on the right nostril, and the ring finger rests just where the bone ends on the left nostril. Take an inhale in and exhale out through your mouth to completely expel all of the air. Block right nostril, inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right and exhale left. Please continue in this fashion, inhaling left and then exhaling right. Inhale right. And exhaling left. Now can you start to integrate this 1 to 2 breath ratio, inhaling for your capacity, might be 3 or 4 counts, and you exhale for around 6 or 8 counts on the way out. You inhale, you exhale for double the length of your inhale. Work with your own breath capacity in this practice where you're arriving right now. There should be no strain in your breath. It shouldn't feel like an effort to breathe in or to breathe out. So if it's feeling that way, you may be trying to deepen or slow your breath down too quickly. And it doesn't mean that you're better or worse for the amount of breath that you can get in or out. We actually get more benefit when we can be mindful and effortless in our pranayama. So even if that's only 2 counts in and 4 counts out, that's okay. Just continuing for another several moments in this fashion, knowing that a complete breath is depicted by a breath in the left, out the right, in the right, and out the left. That's one complete round. So wherever you are, Let's just say to do 2 more complete rounds. And don't rush yourself. If you're halfway through a round, just continue and do another 2 complete rounds. Whenever you finish your breath rounds, just let the hand relax down back towards your thigh or resting in your lap. Allow yourself just to take a couple of adjusting breaths in case there was any buildup of tension or pressure. Allowing there to be absolutely no tension in the face. And an effortless stature in your seated position. Please allow your attention now to come to the navel center. So the whole practice is really led to this point. The navel center being right in the middle of the top and the bottom half of our physical body. Please, again, just make a note of allowing the body to be in complete stillness, body steadiness. Attention is on the navel. As your attention now is on the navel center, just become aware of your breath expanding on inhale and the navel moving in towards the spine on exhale. Again, this should be effortless, no control of the breath, just pure awareness of the navel moving on inhale and exhale. If your mind gets distracted, just gently bring it back to the awareness of your breath and the point at the navel center. Still keeping your awareness at the navel center. Start to visualize a 6 to 8 inch diameter circle around the midpoint of the navel. So much like we spoke about throughout the whole practice of this being like a traffic light practice. We've reached almost where the green is coming on. Visualize a circle around the navel center. It may be a presence of light for you. It may be a particular color. Your belly button is right in the center of that ball of light, and you're still aware, just the breath moving on inhale and exhale. And when your attention may be diverted, just come back to the navel center and the awareness of your breath. Please stay in this concentration at the navel center for a few more moments. Focusing on breath, expanding on inhale, and gently contracting on exhale. And the ancient traditions teach us that this center at the navel has its own unique qualities. And these qualities are ultimate confidence and transformation. It's where the fire center is in the body. It can also be the quality of spontaneity and setting our intentions and sticking to them. So if you're in a place of needing to overcome any strong emotion, like sadness or grief, or anything that feels relatively heavy, just remember that this center and this meditation practice is a lovely practice to come to transform, to break through, to rest in the truest of your light. And know that at any time you can draw on the light of the universe as well, which is always abundant. You're most welcome to continue in this meditation for as long as you need. If you feel ready to come out, just start to deepen your breath again. Feeling the connection, breath, mind, and body. Feeling centered in your body, in your breath, and in your mind. And before rushing out of the practice, just take a moment to really acknowledge what the practice today has brought for you. And maybe even to reflect on what it feels like to be in your own light. Allow the chin to fold towards the chest. To acknowledge the light within you that is also within me and within our universe. Namaste.